some NBA finals. We will continue doing that, but some NBA draft news as well. James, you brought this up right before the show. The Kings had an interview or a meeting. What do you call them in the NBA? An interview?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly, but we're saying that we're hearing that Wasserman says that the Kings worked out Devin Carter.
Worked him out.
Uh, yeah, worked him out. So that means he's probably been here in Sacramento. The Kings like to keep a lid on this stuff. Like it's weird. I mean, a couple of years ago, that's not the way it was. Like I saw 100 and well, I think we saw 99 different players work out, and Kyle Guy work out like 17 times in the same. But that's it. That's how it used to be. He used to show up for all these draft prospect workouts, and they don't do that anymore. The Kings don't do that specifically. So, so we're hearing, again, this is a son of Anthony Carter, former NBA basketball player, like high quality prospect. And yeah, go ahead.
Devin Carter from Providence. I don't know that I said who it was.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Devin
I
Carter.
forgot to get
Providence.
that out there. Who the hell is it?
Yeah. So, and he's 6'2" and a quarter, but he's got a 6'8" and 3/4 wingspan. More of a 2 than a 1. Not a phenomenal ball handler, setup guy, but definitely a really high quality 3-point shooter and very, very good defender. Sort of, I don't know, maybe in the mold of a like slightly stronger, bigger Keon Ellis. Not as tall, but like sort of built bigger Keon
Yeah,
Ellis.
stockier.
Yeah, and I would say he's 22 years old, so that kind of fits what we know about the Kings. Where they like to go is with players that are around, that aren't 18, 19 years old. So definitely an intriguing prospect. So clearly they're at least working guys out for that number 13th pick. Whether they go that way or not, like who knows? But the other thing I would say about Carter specifically, on the season, he averaged 8.4 rebounds a game as a
Man.
guy who's less than 6'3". That is really intriguing, and we've talked about this, Kyle, how the NBA is a little bit of a copycat league, and how Josh Hart became like the soup du jour early in the playoffs, and Naz Reid became this huge player as well. And so guards that can rebound probably are going to have a little bit more value this particular draft. And so he's interesting. I've also read that someone believes that he's had a promise in the top in the lottery, and so he's not working out for teams outside of the lottery right now. So we don't know who that would be, but definitely a guy that might fit what the Kings are looking for.
So Kevin O'Constantinople at the Ringer has him he has him number 8 on his big board. Shades of Bruce Brown. And the quick little write up here: positive contributor in every single facet of the game, and he thrills viewers while doing it. So I have a couple of questions here.
Yeah.
He's a 6'2" guard. Is this a sign that the Kings are maybe looking at players in the draft who might be able to replace Malik Monk?
Well, I think you always have to be open to that, the possibility of that. But I also think that this would be a player that you look at because of his defensive acumen, because of his wingspan. Maybe he projects as a long-term starter, more of like a Kentavious Caldwell Pope type, right? So maybe that's a possibility. But I also think that if you're the Kings, you have to do your due diligence, and you've got to be honest about the situation. You can only offer so much to a guy like Malik, and there are going to be others that can offer more, and that could be a problem.
Yeah, I don't know, just in that vein, to kind of follow that thread. I don't know how much I'd love the idea of having a rookie fill that role.
No, I get that. But you also have to remember that you have Keon Ellis there. Like we don't know what Keon Ellis develops into, but having 2 Keon Ellises isn't a bad thing, especially if you're gonna have one come off the bench, one start, one way or the other. I also think that if you do bring back Malik Monk is a point guard on this team, right? So
Definitely.
yeah, when he's on the floor, he is the dominant player with the ball in his hands all the time. And finding players that can play off of him is a big deal. So I personally think that that's kind of the beauty to Keon Ellis. Um, he just gives you more size and athleticism than Davion Mitchell,
Hmm.
better 3-point shooting than Davion Mitchell, but also I think he can play a little one, and he's probably more of a two. I would look at a guy like Devin Carter in the same way. Like he
Hmm.
might be able to play a little one. He might be able to bring the ball up and then Monk take it from him and go get in the pick and roll and then him move to a different spot on the floor. But like sort of unlimited shooting range, quality shooter. He's got a little bit of a strange release, a little bit sideways,
Yeah.
a lot like his dad, to be honest. Like a little bit like his dad as a shooter.
Sure.
But yeah, I think that the Kings are going to look to like it's about improving your overall talent, and you don't want to just say, "Hey, look, we're only looking for X, Y, and Z at pick number 13."
Hmm.
And, like, we don't know if they'll pick at 13 or not, but we have to go through this with the assumption that they will, because so many times before, we thought that they wouldn't select where they were choosing. Like, even the
Hmm.
Davion Mitchell pick at number 9, not only did they not even speak to Davion Mitchell the entire process, they'd never worked him out, they didn't talk to him at the combine, but, that number 9 pick was up for grabs the entire time. And so
Hmm.
most people thought on the outside, on the inside, that that pick was gonna be gone, and then it wasn't. So again, last season, I don't think anyone saw out of nowhere the Kings trading the 24th pick with Rashawn Holmes just to clear up cap space. That
Yeah.
that was something we saw coming either. So kind of interesting where we're at.
We've got more draft stuff, but now I'm stuck on this Devin Carter thing because George Muller in the chatty house at youtube.com/ESPN 1320 brings up the exact same I, I guess issue or qualm I have with this idea. He said, I can't believe what I'm hearing, another less than 6'5" guard. And that's what jumps out to me about this
Hmm.
is we've been talking about they need size, they need athleticism, and then it's hey, what about this 6'2" guy? It's just, that doesn't quite fit the criteria.
I get what you're saying, but I would rather have a 6'2" guy with well, I mean, in shoes, he's almost 6'4", but
Oh,
a guy with a almost 6'9" wingspan who's known for his defensive acumen than a 6'7" guy with 6'7" reach, or 6'8" wingspan
hmm,
who can't keep up with the guards that you're trying to defend. I mean, certainly there are players in this league that you have to be concerned with at the guard position. You need a big guard here and there. But I also could see you like going out and finding a backup point guard that's bigger.
yeah,
Going out and getting a veteran like DeLon Wright or something, just someone who's 6'4", 6'5", that can D up like slightly larger guards slash forwards that you get swapped onto. I don't
sure,
know. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I certainly think that the key for the Kings and their defensive progress, in my opinion, number one, getting longer athletic at every position, but also the guards at the point of attack have to be able to stop. Like they have to be able to stop their opponent from penetrating, getting to the middle of the
hmm,
key where you don't really have a natural shot blocker, and that's where Sabonis typically gets in foul trouble. I think that like surrounding the perimeter with really strong guards, defensive guards, is a really smart way to like sort of start the process of improving as a defensive team. So
sure.
I'm okay with a 6'2", 6'3", 6'4" guard, as long as he plays bigger than that, especially with the like a 6'9" wingspan. That's pretty impressive.
I also think he would have to take Davion Mitchell's spot. Because if you're running out De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, Keon Ellis, Davion Mitchell, and Devin Carter, that's five dudes who are 6'4" and under.
Hmm.
And I
Oh,
don't
I,
know.
I think Keon Ellis is 6'5".
Okay, that's
But
five dudes who are 6'5" and under.
yeah.
So that would be my. I don't know where the minutes would go, but if they think that a player like Devin George at 6'2" with a nearly 6'9" wingspan can step in and immediately fill the minutes that Davion Mitchell was playing, and they include Davion Mitchell in a trade package, then I'm here for it. even
You
though it's
threw
not, the size and athleticism we've been begging for.
Yeah, you threw me for a loop. You said Devin George,
Oh, whoops. Devin
which
Carter,
is
not
Devin
Devin
Carter,
George.
which is
1000% not him.
but you also have Keyshawn George
Oh, we're
that we
getting
were
to
gonna speak
Keyshawn
about.
George.
So you just married the two and that made Devin George, which I think Devin George
Yikes.
is local still. I think Devin George
Yeah,
lives
great guy apparently.
in the Sacramento region.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not anti Devin George. I just don't think he fits the Kings timeline right now.
Yep.
So that's where that